Hey YouTube, welcome to another live broadcast. I'm trying to get Facebook up and online with us here, so hang on just a second. And Facebook is up and live, so welcome. I'm sorry my tripod just crashed on me, so I'm trying to fix Facebook here, so I'm sorry if it's making you feel a little bit nauseous. Let me get this set up really quick and then we will get started. Tonight we are going to talk about coconut oil, and we're going to kind of reference a little bit of the new findings that came out that are saying that coconut oil is now considered, to have saturated fat in it, and people are kind of in an uproar, and they're kind of panicking a little bit about their beloved coconut oil. So we're going to address that a little bit tonight. So just hold on a second, YouTube. Let me get this Facebook tripod going and making sure it won't fall. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, hopefully we're good on both places. Okay, so sorry about that rough start. Tonight we are going to talk about coconut oil. We're going to talk about kind of the new report that came out. I've seen a lot on social media where I see people panicking about coconut oil and what are we going to do. And I'm going to give you my tips and tricks and some ways to kind of deal with situations like this if you are kind of using some tools in your kind of, toolbox to help you improve your health and fitness and overall well-being. So if you are just jumping on, welcome. My name is Diane Parham, and for the past 25 years, I have been helping women develop nutritional plans and find fitness programs to help them look and feel their best and live their most authentic life. And for me, over the past couple of years, as my body has begun to age and some of my body systems have been changing hormonally, I have been using intermittent fasting as a way to get myself back on track health and fitness wise, and to reverse some of the things that I had kind of creep up on me with my aging process and my hormonal changes, like pre-diabetic state. I was insulin resistant, had some trouble with my thyroid, and it was also kind of eking my way into some of the conditions that arise with some autoimmune disorders. So through intermittent fasting and the way that I have developed intermittent fasting for a woman with 2 kids and a husband and a family and a busy life, a way to be able to intermittent fast and incorporate it into my lifestyle so that I can still enjoy the people that I love to be around and the life that I like to live without having to compromise my health. And now I teach that to other women. So tonight we are going to discuss coconut oil, and I'm gonna do it in a way where I'm going to help you guys learn some tools that will hopefully carry you over into future situations where these health reports and changing information come up, and I'm going to give you some kind of ways to deal with that. So what I'm not going to do tonight is dissect the reports about coconut oil and break down all the benefits and maybe the things we should be newly concerned about with the saturated fat findings. I'm not going to go on the nutritional side of it at all. I'm going to talk to you about how we as women deal with these kind of things in our life and how we can become more empowered than a lot of the other people in the community or in our social networks who are kind of panicking right now and don't know what to do with themselves nutritionally. So my first tip, and I talk about this a lot in the course that I teach with intermittent fasting for today's aging woman, and that tip is to have tools in your life and not crutches. So I know there's a lot of people in the fitness industry who are overusing coconut oil because it's the be-all, end-all medium chain triglyceride that burns body fat and helps control hunger, and it's just that thing that we need to get, the shortcut to our health and fitness, and a lot of people are overusing it. I know a couple years ago, I was guilty of that myself, and I actually put myself in a position where I now have an allergic reaction to coconut oil. So I know for a lot of you, you're putting it in your coffee, you're using it to cook with, you're probably rubbing it on your skin as a moisturizer, you're putting it in your hair, you're, doing the whole, oil pulling with your teeth. And we've kind of used coconut oil to the point where I'm sure for some people it has become a health concern with the fact that it's probably causing some health related issues that they weren't expecting or maybe weren't directly linking. And so anything that we're using, let it be coconut oil, let it be our bulletproof coffee with all the butter in it, the way the Atkins diet went several years ago, when you could eat fat, so people were eating pounds of bacons and blocks of cheese and over consuming eggs, and then all of a sudden all those things became bad things in our life, when the reality is anything that we use in moderation and use as a tool and not a crutch should not cause us any problems. And if you're so worried about some report that came out about coconut oil having saturated fats in it, that being the thing that's going to throw you over the edge or throw you off the cliff with your health and fitness goals, then you're probably not using it correctly. And then you also want to take a little bit of a look at some other things that you're doing in your life that might be equally as bad. So if you're so ready to throw in the towel on coconut oil, or you're so panicked about it, what are some other things that you might be incorporating in your life that are probably not the best either, but you kind of look the other way on? So my advice when these kind of findings come out is to do this. And this is what I do when I hear some of these new reports or some, cautionary things about something that I have been using that I think is a benefit, and suddenly someone says they're bad and we all go in a panic. And that is this. Read the reports thoroughly, but read them with sort of a skeptic eye. So you're reading it, but you're not necessarily going to take everything that was said in that report and immediately implement it. And I was just giving this advice to one of the women in my group that I had a consult call with this week about diet books. And I read diet books in a way where I'm going to kind of enlighten myself and kind of refresh some things that I already have in my, wheelhouse of knowledge for nutrition. And then with every book that I read, I try to take one piece of advice out and implement it into my life. I don't try to overhaul my life off of one book that I read about one person's philosophy about how we should eat or how we should exercise or how we should whatever, because it may not all jive with my life and I can't copycat someone else and get the same results. So take the information, see if it makes sense for you and your life and maybe the way that you're kind of incorporating whatever the report is on or the findings are on. See if there's a way that you can maybe moderately keep whatever that item is in your life and use it to its fullest advantage to you, or use it for some of the benefits that it has. And then go a step deeper and see who wrote the report and who the report might be funded by. So I'm sure, and I think I read an article today about the person who kind of, uncovered this big thing about coconut oil, and they're actually, I think, paid by or works with or something, a pharmaceutical company who also produces cholesterol medication. Now, I think that's pretty alarming that a person who writes a report about the saturated fat findings in coconut oil is also employed or paid by a company who produces cholesterol medication. Why would a company who makes cholesterol medication want people to get healthy off something like coconut oil? And if more and more people are becoming healthier and they're using things like coconut oil or intermittent fasting or some of the other really nice, easy to find and very inexpensive tools that we can incorporate into our life to make ourselves healthier, and we stop needing prescription medications, then of course pharmaceutical companies are going to be alarmed and they're going to try to taint some of those things that are becoming useful and easy access for us and very easy to implement in our life and help reverse some of the medical problems that we might be facing as a nation. So always look with a skeptical eye and then dig a little deeper to actually who funded those reports. Again, the same thing happens with red wine. There's some report out saying that red wine makes you heart healthy. Not really, but someone did a report on it and maybe did some study of 10 people or something, and it helped their heart condition or whatever it is that they were suffering with. And so now everyone thinks, or it's a great excuse to go and over drink wine or drink wine because now someone said it was heart healthy, when the common sense really, if you apply it, would lead you to know that red wine isn't going to help you in any way be healthy. Now, if you use it in moderation, it's not going to necessarily be a bad thing, but it's not an excuse to go drink red wine. The same thing with coconut oil. One report is not a reason for you to ditch your coconut oil. It's to just kind of go reevaluate how you're implementing it in your life. Is it still going to be something that's beneficial to you? How do you feel when you're using coconut oil as a tool and not a crutch? And is it worth it for you to kind of take that risk? There's a lot of things in your life that have saturated fat in it that I'm sure you're not completely cutting out. And when you consider what the alternatives are for oil, I think personally, for me and my family, coconut oil is still one of the better options. So the way we use oil is in this way. Avocado oil is the one that we reach for almost all the time, especially when we're using oil in a heated environment, because it does have the highest burn rate, so it's going to become least toxic to cook with. That's avocado oil. The second oil that we reach for would be coconut oil. We use coconut oil for baking and for flavoring things that we want to have sort of a sweet kind of coconutty flavor to it. And third, we use olive oil. Olive oil is now that one oil that they are finding has the least burn rate, so you can't put it as high on a heat and still keep it from being non-toxic. So avocado oil is the best for heat, coconut oil we use for baking, and then we use olive oil third. And honestly, I can't even remember the last time we've actually reached for olive oil. So do your research, and what I always say, and I kind of talked about this a little bit last night when we were talking about our gum situation, you want to reach for the best possible option in kind of the worst possible scenario. So if all you have to choose from is some coconut oil, and the other options are, I don't know, corn oil, canola oil, peanut oil, coconut oil is still going to be your best option. So don't panic too much. Use your coconut oil, moderately. Make sure it is doing the things for you and your goals and your body, and you're feeling good when you're taking it. And then read reports skeptically, do some research on who funded that report, and then make an informed and educated decision for you. Don't jump on a bandwagon, don't follow a flock, and definitely don't panic. We want to make sure that all the decisions that we make about our nutrition, our health, and our well-being are based on good, solid information that feels good for us. And so don't be influenced by what other people are doing as well. Just because someone else decided that coconut oil is not good for them doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to be good for you. Or if you make an informed decision and decide coconut oil is no longer good for you and your family, that's fine, and that's your business, and it may still work for someone else. So don't panic. Coconut oil is still going to be okay for us. I say use it. It's been used for centuries. It has some amazing medicinal purposes if used correctly, and it can still be very beneficial to you and your family. So I say keep it in your pantry and just use it sparingly. Let me look on YouTube and see what we got here for some comments and questions. I always like to start at the top to whoever got here first. Marnie, good to see you here. Yvonne from California, good to see you, girlfriend. How's your water bottle? Marlies from Alberta, Canada. Hopefully I said your name right. Marnie, does Baroka bring you out of fast? I don't even know what that is. Mary, good to see you. Susan, hi. I signed up for July course. Can't wait. Oh, Susan, can't wait to hang out with you. It's going to be super fun. Flaming June, really appreciate the info on which oils are best for cooking and baking. Yes. Shayna, 1 avocado oil, heat 2 coconut oil, and saute flavor 3 olive oil. Very good. Eileen, good to see you. Eileen from 120-degree Arizona. Do you know the info on lectins? No, don't. And then Brenda, hi Diane, I have avocado oil now. I use it. I reach for olive oil mostly. I have coconut oil as well. Thanks for the tips. Yeah, avocado I would say would be your go-to. It's cool too because it's kind of flavorless, so we use it for almost everything. And then here's a good coconut oil tip for you guys. So we make sweet potatoes, occasionally. We used to make them a lot, but we don't use them as much anymore. I'll use sweet potatoes more when I get back into my running season as my pre-workout carb. I have it the night before a run. And when we make our sweet potatoes, I slice them with the slicer so they come out in rounds, we make kind of chips out of them. I put them in a Ziploc bag with a couple of tablespoons of coconut oil and some Himalayan sea salt, and I shake it up so that they're coated. And then I put them on a cookie sheet lined with a silicone pad, so we don't use aluminum oil. And I bake them covered for about, 40 minutes. And then I take the cover off of them and I let them crisp up in the oven. And oh my gosh, it's like eating candied sweet potatoes. It is so good. The coconut oil on the sweet potato kind of brings out the sweetness of them. My husband and I, it's our guilty pleasure. And when I'm running, I can totally afford to add that carb in, and that little extra bit of medium chain triglyceride works well in your fasting and your feasting as well. Your feasting window works well when you're kind of closing it out. So if you want to make some good sweet potatoes, that's my tip for sweet potatoes and coconut oil. Oops, my tripod fell again. I don't know what's up with that. Sorry, Facebook. Hopefully I didn't make you all nauseous. Michael's here. Ingrid's here. Good to see you. Kara joined. Ingrid. Maria, good to see you. Maureen, nice blue hearts. Thank you so much. Shayla, good to see you. Diane, hi Diane from Di. Hi, oh, she said hi Di from Di. Hi DY from DI. Love it. Laura, I'm here and interested and concerned about your views. Suppose I understood coconut oil was good for Alzheimer's, dementia concerns. See, okay, so I would say I would use coconut oil for Alzheimer's and dementia concerns, and I wouldn't even care less about the saturated fat situation, and I would use it for that because I've also heard the same thing, and that's where it goes back to the medicinal purposes of coconut oil being used for centuries. So I say I would use it and just use it sparingly and just pay attention to how your body is feeling. Nicole Eaton, good to see you. Girlfriend, Maureen, don't believe that study. Yeah, I don't believe it either. Jessica, good to see you, girlfriend. Arnolfo's good. Let's see. Laura, good to see you. Arnolfo's here. Robin, Deanna, good to see you, girlfriend. Cindy, good evening. Jenny, so glad you're addressing this. I listened to Dr. Axe yesterday. He was alarmed and upset as well. He mentioned the report funding coming, a pharmaceutical company. They even recommended corn oil. Like, why would you go backwards? It doesn't even make sense. Who would want to eat corn oil? Okay, cool. Margaret, good to see you. So I'm glad Dr. Axe is backing it up because I always trust him too. Cheryl, looking forward to the July course. Looking forward to having you with us. Susie, off subject, when on vacation do you deal with water at the resort? Depends on where the resort is. Debani, good to see you, girlfriend. Joy, good to see you too. Okay, Facebook, I'm going to have to let you go and I hope you don't fall. Okay, you're good. Okay. Let me see. Well, I don't know what is up in my tripod. It's falling on me. Is caffeine, it's a caffeine-free energy drink. Okay, Marnie, let me guess. Does it break your fast? I don't know. What I say with anything like that, and you're wondering if it breaks your fast, is try it for a week. See how you feel. See how your results are coming along. If you're getting the results that you want and you're feeling fat adaptive, I think you're probably okay. If you're not getting the results you want and you don't feel fat adaptive, then I'm guessing it's probably breaking your fast. Brenda, sounds yummy. Can't wait to try it. Still doing the 24, loving it. Oh, good. Glad you're liking it. I love coconut oil and cinnamon in my coffee. Yeah, that's good too. I love Yvonne. Oh my gosh, these water bottles are amazing. So if you guys, okay, so I found this really amazing. I've talked before about how it's really hard to find 25-ounce insulated water bottles. And so I found some that I absolutely love and the company's great. If you're interested, shoot me an email to my email address. It's dianeparhamfitness@gmail.com. I'll send you guys a link. All the women in my intermittent fasting group are buying them. We absolutely love them. They're super cute, and they're 25 ounces. Like I said, those are hard to find. So shoot me an email, and I'll give you guys a link of a good place to buy some good insulated water bottles. Okay, let me see what else we've got over here. Cucumber water. Cucumber water what? Does it break your fast? No. Register for the July. Excited. Need tips on how to deal with stress at work. Okay, we'll address it in the group. Just remind me. Mark Hyman disagreed with the study as well. Okay, good. So my biggest tip, thanks for posting my email address, Kara. Just email me, you guys, and I'll send you some good info on some great water bottles. I didn't really even do much research on the whole coconut oil thing. I just kind of saw my friends panicking on Facebook mostly and just was like, oh, here we go again. And I had done so much research on the benefits of coconut oil years ago when I started using it that I just didn't even want to bother with that report. And then I just saw someone posted something about how the person who did the study was actually funded by a pharmaceutical company who, produces cholesterol medication. I was like, oh, okay, I don't need to look any farther. And then I wanted to make sure that you guys understand that we have the power, right? We as the consumer have the power. And as long as we're educated and we keep a level head and we use things as a tool and not a crutch, we should always be okay. You can overconsume blueberries, and I'm sure it caused something negative to happen in your body, but who wants to live on blueberries all the time, right? You're going to use everything in a very moderate, common sense way that makes sense for you and your family. We always want to take in information because we want to be educated, because education is power, but we don't want to necessarily relinquish our power by caving and jumping on and off bandwagons. And there's always going to be a bandwagon. So ease into things with a little bit of grace. I always say use grace. Take a pause, take a deep breath, evaluate the situation, and then make a decision that's empowering you and your family. And don't worry about what everybody else is doing. There's still so many great benefits to coconut oil, and I ain't giving mine up. I use it very sparingly now because, like I said, my husband and I were kind of overusing it. And we also know of a friend who was overusing coconut oils. Probably, I think I was using it as a panic fat burner kind of thing. And I ended up getting an allergic reaction. And another friend of ours actually went into anaphylactic shock and hadn't been allergic to it before. So there are some of those things that we can overuse if we're using them as more of a crutch than we are a tool. So always be careful with that. That goes for coffee as well. You don't want to be drinking coffee all day. You only want to have, your cup or two, and then kind of be done with it. Joy, good to see you here. Estelle, good to see you. Denise, hello. So excited to have found you on Facebook. Looking forward to starting my fast. Oh, awesome, Denise. Keep us posted, please. Maureen, Thomas Zulor had a huge rant about this coconut oil story, medically explaining water bottles email. Okay, Maureen, my email is Diane, so Dyann, Parham, Parham, so it's like my Facebook page, fitness@gmail.com, and I will email you some information. Just bought my water bottle using your link on Facebook. Awesome, cool. Melissa, how are you? Kara, okay, so my assistant put my email address on the comments, so just scroll through the comments and you'll find it there. Okay, cool. So any other questions, anything else you guys want to kind of address really quick? I promised my family I would make this one a little shorter tonight, and it's already 9:20, so I got about 7 minutes before I have to get off. So anything else you want to talk about? I can share with you guys, if you want, a couple of great stories I heard these last couple of days from women that I've had some consult calls with from my Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman group. They have been absolutely amazing. I do not eat Ezekiel bread anymore. Doesn't make me feel good. I don't eat bread at all in general, so I don't eat any bread. Okay, so one woman, and I don't say anybody's names or give too many details out, but I'll just kind of share with you briefly a little bit about one of the ones that has just kind of touched my heart and it's been staying with me. But she has a long history of breast cancer in her family, and I hope I tell this story correctly. Long history of breast cancer in her family, and so she goes pretty regularly to have, kind of high-level breast cancer screenings. And for the first time ever, she had a completely clear breast cancer screening, and she's crediting it to what she's been doing with her health and fitness with her intermittent fasting. So that's a win there. We have another woman who messaged me today. She was in my May Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman group. She was not losing a lot of weight during the month of May, but I told her to just trust her body, and that her body was doing some healing and balancing out her hormones, and the weight would eventually come off. She did kind of settle into that and took some other advice that I gave her on some extended fasting times, and moving up her fasting window a little bit and getting out of her comfort zone. And she emailed me today, and she said she's lost 8 pounds this month, and people are noticing the changes in her body. She is in the fitness industry, so for fitness people to notice and say something about another fitness person's body is a huge win. So she is feeling absolutely fantastic, and her body is healing as well. I talked to another person yesterday who has been struggling with losing weight for the past 3 years. She's just like us, a woman who's aging in her 50s, and she has lost 8 pounds in 3 weeks. That is fantastic. And then another woman that I talked to has just gone on vacation to New York with her daughter and her daughter's dance team, gained no weight on vacation, and then came back and immediately lost 3 pounds. So intermittent fasting is working for us ladies. Another woman I talked to today said she has been feeling better than she has felt since she was in her 30s, and she is in her 50s. So it works, ladies. You have to learn how to do it correctly. You have to learn how to listen to your body. You have to learn how to use intermittent fasting as a tool and not a crutch, and how to implement it into your life so it becomes part of your lifestyle and a part of who you are, and you don't have to change you or your lifestyle to become a successful intermittent faster, which then leads you to becoming a healthy and happy and authentically living woman in your own life. So if you are here with us tonight, or you're catching this on a video rebroadcast, please consider jumping into our July group. If you are a woman who has been frustrated with your weight, or frustrated with some things in your health that are kind of slipping and you feel like you're losing control of, we will do our best to get you fixed. We will do our best to help teach you how to fix your own body. So we don't prescribe anything, we don't dictate anything, we don't I make sure that I don't really tell you what to do with your health. I don't tell you what to do with what it is with your food choices. What I do is I teach you the hows and whys of intermittent fasting, and then I teach you how to develop a relationship with your body to where you start listening to the signs and the signals that your body's telling you, and then you adjust your life to make sure that you are being able to kind of read those signs and signals and figure out a way to fix yourself so that you don't have to worry about someone else having to take it into their hands to fix you against your will. It's a very, very powerful course that we run, and it's powerful to be associated with the women that are in our group and all the amazing things that they are doing for themselves, for their life, just by being pointed in the right direction and then being held accountable and being supported by the other women in our group. So it's absolutely fantastic. I missed your consult call. Can I reschedule? Yeah, Debani, I mentioned that last night. You might not have caught that. Please email me and we will get you rescheduled. I don't always do that, but I have been dying to talk to you, so please make sure. I know you have a couple areas that you're struggling on, so let's try to get something on the schedule for you before our June course ends. So just email me. We'll get something going for you. Gail, I completed 2 days of 24 hours and had dinner even though I was not hungry. I'm having a cup of coffee, listening to you, and feeling energized. Is it okay to keep doing 24 hours? Should I drop back to 20? I say go with your life, Gail. If 24 hours, so 24 hours, here's what I like to say about 24-hour fast. It's going from dinner to dinner. And if you think about a 24-hour fast, it seems a little daunting and it seems a little stressful. So I always say change your verbiage on that and say you're going to eat from dinner to dinner. And then it doesn't seem like it's such a long period of time. Just make sure that when you're eating your dinner, you're choosing nutrient-dense foods that are going to be kind of balanced out for you. Keep a lot of good, healthy fats in there. And if you're feeling great, there's no reason to go back down to 20 if eating dinner to dinner works for you. So just listen to your body. And then on the days where your body feels like you need to eat a little sooner, just eat a little sooner. That's what we love about how we're teaching intermittent fasting and the flexibility of it. Listen to the cues your body's sending to you. It's sending them to you for a reason. And then just kind of reevaluate at that time. Ingrid's got it. I'd say if you're not hungry, keep going. Good job. Yeah, Ingrid knows she's a pro of mine. Eileen, good job. Okay, Cynthia, I have just come from PT and he said must have breakfast to start your metabolism. I have joined your July class, so looking forward to prove him wrong. Oz and hooked on your video. Okay, yeah. You don't need to have breakfast to kickstart your metabolism. I'll teach you how to kickstart your metabolism, and we'll, yes, go back to your PT and prove him wrong. Maybe you can teach him a thing or two, and then he can help some other women. Marnie, that's amazing results for all those women. Yvonne. Oh, Yvonne, thank you so much. Okay, so I'm going to jump off because I'm going to go hang out with my family tonight, but I just felt super strong about making sure that you guys understood that about the coconut oil and any other situation that comes up in social media. Don't panic. Take a deep breath. Pause for a second, and then do your research and then make an informed and empowered decision for you and your family, and then make a personal choice that's best suits you. Do not jump on a bandwagon, and do not follow the crowd. The crowd is not always going to the place that you need to go or that you should be going. So just you guys will be fine. You talk about being so in tune with your body. I'm in your July course, and pray I can feel that way too. Marina, the first thing I'm going to ask you is stop being skeptical and just trust. Shayna, almond flour, coconut flour, acceptable? Acceptable for what? I always say choose foods that work best for you. If they're fine for you, then yes, they're acceptable. And they're great sources. They're way better than bleached white flour. So, I would say they're good. Marina, I can't wait to have you in our course. And then we're going to change some of the things that you're thinking about. Don't believe everything you read in here. Perfect. Okay. So for those of you who are interested in the July course, I say get in, this week if you can. You got an About You form to fill out. You've got a consult call to schedule. So there's definitely some things that you can do to get yourself ready for our July course. We will start July 1st. The month goes by quick, so you'll have lots of time to benefit from all the amazing changes that you'll be putting in your life for the summertime and then beyond. So definitely get yourself signed up. Look for a link on my Facebook page or on my YouTube channel if you have any questions. Never feel afraid to email me. And if you're looking for the water bottle information, it's dianeparhamfitness@gmail.com. I will get you guys emails either tonight or tomorrow. Have a fantastic night. Tomorrow's Thursday, so it'll be our last night together. Hope you guys will come back and join me tomorrow night for another chat. Mwah! Good night. I'll see you guys tomorrow.